Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another figure review, and today I got a really cool figure to review for you guys. It is my first Sideshow 6th scale figure. It's the Sideshow Collectibles 6th scale Clone Trooper Deluxe 501st. One of my biggest, I guess, holy grails or goals as a collector, ever since I really started collecting seriously, to be honest, was to own a Sideshow or a Hot Toys figure. That's been something I've been wanting for a long time. About a month ago, for my birthday, I got this Sideshow figure. Being honest, wouldn't have been my first choice for a Sideshow figure. That goes to the Darth Vader. But this is a really, really cool one to get. I am really happy to have it. And I'll give you guys a look at it. I think I hit over 500 subscribers a while ago, and I never talked about it. So thank you for everyone who's stayed subscribed with me. It's always appreciated. Support's always appreciated. This one's for you. So take a look at the box real quick. It's in your Sideshow Collectible 6th scale figure packaging. It's pretty standard. The box isn't in the greatest of shape, but you got an image of the figure on the front, 6th scale. Got an image of the figure on the side. Another image of the figure on the back, SideshowCollectibles.com. Another image of the figure with some different option parts and whatnot. Not really anything else going on. It does have magnets, so it opens up on the side there, and you could open it up and it would show the figure in there with all the accessory and whatnot. Don't have the figure in there. But that's pretty much it for the box. Not too much to talk about. So I'm going to get all the accessories out and the figure out, and we'll take a good look at the figure. And here I have the figure, and it is really awesome. I will apologize. My lighting in my current situation is not the best, so I'm not going to be able to truly do this figure justice. But he looks really, really good. I have them all geared out right now, looking fantastic, and just in general, the sculpt, the paint, the detail, the accessories, and the posing options is just superb on this guy. Absolutely awesome. But I usually take accessories last. We're actually going to take a look at the accessories first, so let me get everything off of this guy and get them all laid out, and we'll take a look at that. So as you can see, the figure comes with a lot of different stuff, and that's kind of the selling point of this figure. The whole deluxe thing is because the figure comes with so much stuff. But that's really cool, and that's one of the things that make this figure really awesome. First and foremost, you do get a display stand. I can pop that off. Here's the base. It's really basic, just says Star Wars in silver, Lucasfilm, LTD, rights reserved, all that jazz. Nothing too crazy. And you do get the adjustable stand, which he would just sit in, kind of rest in his crotch, just kind of go in there. And you can pull it up, you can pull it down, you can do whatever you want, basically. So that's really good. It's definitely good to have. Make sure he's not going to fall off the shelf. So that's always good. Comes with a multitude of hands, which is awesome. I do have two hands on him. He has his left hand for gripping the foregrip for the rotary cannon on the body itself, and I also have his right trigger finger hand on the body itself, but you do get the other left-handed trigger finger hand, and all these hands are sculpted really nicely, painted really nicely, all these scuffs and dirt and whatnot, and look really, really good. And it's easy to get the weapons in the hands. They're pretty sturdy, and as are the joints. They're really sturdy as well. That's what the other trigger finger hand will look like, just on the right hand. You get two fisted hands, punching hands, whatever you want to call it. You get two flat palm or saluting hands. You get a hand which I think is best for holding the rotary cannon, but you can also hold the rotary cannon with the trigger finger hand. You also get a really cool one of my favorite hands, the thumbs up hand. I think that's really awesome that they included that. That's really cool. Adds more personality to the figure. Two just sort of open resting hands. And one pointing finger hand. And one sort of gesturing hand with the two fingers, so that's really cool as well. Hand signal. That's all the hands. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to move them off the side a little bit. I'll try to showcase some of them. When I'm going over the figure, I'm not going to show all of them. It'd take too long, but yeah, put those over here. On the other stuff, you do get over here 2 alternate feet. You get these action pose feet where he has his toe bent. So if you're trying to get some more dynamic crouching poses and whatnot, you do get these. So that is useful. You get 2 head sculpts or helmet sculpts. You get the Phase 2 helmet sculpt, which is my personal favorite. I think it just looks better and sits on the body a bit better. But that's my favorite looking one, and we'll get a look at both these head sculpts on the figure shortly. But I love the design. The visor is very reflective, which I think looks really good. Makes it look very realistic. The blue markings look really nice. A nice shade of blue, and the scuffing that they added to it is awesome. You got all the other paint apps, which are very sharply and nicely applied. And the overall figure, which you'll see soon, but also you can see sort of on the helmet, has this overall really nice sort of dirt wash applied to the whole figure, its armor, to make it look like he's a worn veteran of the Clone Wars, which is awesome. I like that look. Probably prefer the look over a clean look, so that's really cool. And you also get a Phase 1 helmet, which is also really awesome. I think we see Phase 1 501st clones in the Clone Wars show. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I really do like this as well. Sculpted really nicely. The mouthpiece is well done. Again, the visor looks great, and the blue looks great. He's got the little red on the end of the fin. Again, looks really, really good. And both head sculpts, they just poured in via a ball joint. So, yeah, those are both the helmet sculpts. And in terms of the actual accessories he comes with, he does come with this backpack, which is really great. Has some nice paint apps. Got the Republic logo sort of scuffed on there, which is awesome. The dirt wash, again, looks great. Makes it look worn. It's got a cloth covering. This is fully cloth. You can unplug it right there and open it up. You can store stuff in there. I'll show that off in a second. He also straps. It's a little fiddly getting the backpack on him. It's not too bad, though. But what's really neat is that it actually has small little clips, so you can unclip it and just clip it over his arm, which is awesome. And they also have strap adjusters. At this scale, that's really impressive. I really like that a lot. That's really, really cool. And the material used for the straps also looks really good. No problems there at all. So yeah, that's really cool. And kind of in conjunction with the backpack, you do get 4 droid poppers. So they basically, these little silver grenades, have a nice black wash and got a little bit of a blue tinge to them. They got these holes on the top of them. I don't really know why, but it looks really good. And all of them are a little different paint-wise, but are all sculpted the same. You do have some hands that can cradle them. And what I like to do is I just like to store them in the backpack. They go in there really easy. And I can just close the backpack, and then they'll stay in there and they won't get lost. So that's what I like to do for that. Then he comes with 3 different blasters. So first off, he comes with the DC-15 carbine. Looks really great. Sculpt is fantastic. Paint app's really good. This is kind of in a base sort of gunmetal gray, but you got a silver wash over it, which looks really, really nice. And you do got some silver paint apps for the bolts and whatnot, which looks good. He holds it well. And it also has the folding stock feature, so you can flip it around like so. So that is really cool that you can do that. I suppose my only real issue is this can get loose. Like as you can see, it'll just droop down like that. Luckily, the way to fix that is right here on the hinge. You just gotta press these in because they like to come out a bit. Press them in, then they'll stay in. But that is a little annoying, I will admit. But overall, it's a really good weapon. Then you have the DC-15 rifle, which is huge. Nice sturdy plastic. It's not bendable at all, so don't like bend it. But nice sturdy plastic. It's got like, again, that gunmetal with a nice silver wash. You got silver paint apps here and all throughout the gun, and a different shade of like an even more gunmetal sort of on the cylinder here, which is really cool. Looks great. It is a little on the heavy side, especially on the top, so you can have, it's just a slight issue supporting it if you're trying to get in an aiming pose, but it's not too bad. And what a really cool feature is it does feature the harpoon attachment, which we do see in the Clone Wars, which I think is really cool. But what's also awesome is you can actually remove it. It just slides off. So if you don't want that on there, you just want a standard looking DC-15 rifle, you can do that. And that's just a separate piece. You can store it in the backpack if you wanted to. But I think it looks really cool with it on, and you can just simply slide that back on there, and I think that looks awesome. I dig that a lot. And you can position it where you want, so you want it all the way back and do that. And you can also bring it forward if you want it to look like that. I can't remember how it looks in the show. Yeah, that's a really awesome accessory as well. And last but not least, you do get the Z6 rotary cannon. Again, really awesome. Maybe my favorite of the guns that he comes with. This looks, again, really great. You got the two grips here. You got the nice sort of bronze, or sorry, not bronze, but copper paint apps, which look really good. Fortunately, it doesn't rotate. I was kind of expecting it to rotate, if I'm being honest, but it doesn't matter. I don't need it to rotate. Got the clip there. The sculpt is just fantastic on all these accessories and pieces. Very good. So that's that, and that's pretty much all the accessories. So I guess I'll get the figure prepared, and we'll take a closer look at the actual figure. Alright, now I got the figure all set up, ready to go, and we'll take a closer look at this awesome figure. So, it is a clone trooper, so you kind of got to expect what you're getting to a certain extent. But he looks really, really good. As you can see, he's got this nice sort of blackish wash all throughout the armor to make him look worn. Definitely the idea was to try to make him look like a veteran in the Clone Wars. He's got all these different scuffing and scrapes and whatnot on the armor. It looks really, really good. We already took a closer look at the helmet sculpt, but here's just kind of look at it on the body. I think that looks good. I will show the alternate helmet sculpt, which is the Phase 1. Plug that on. I do think that the Phase 2 sits on the neck a little better than the Phase 1 does. The Phase 1 still does look really good. I'll just leave it on there for now. You got the shoulder pads here, which are just attached to the top of the armor, so they flex, so it doesn't hinder too much articulation. The whole bodysuit is a fabric. It's like elastic fabric, which is really good. It looks quite nice. Doesn't feel, it's a really great sturdy material. Doesn't feel like it's going to degrade and come apart easily or anything like that, which is great. You got the armor here again. You got all the blue markings of the 501st all scuffed up. You got like the black scuffing on the armor itself, and all this wash looks really good. Got the wrist communicator on this forearm, which is good. Got the elbow armor, which just kind of sits on there. Got the blue on the back there, all scuffed up and damaged. It looks really good. The back there, got his butt plate. Got the thermal detonator there on the belt, which, yeah. You got all the pouches, which is really cool. Got the leg armor. You got the blue markings, again, all scuffed up. All the black details look really good as well. Got some gray paint apps on the straps there. And the feet, you got the gray on the bottom there. Nothing too crazy going on. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no crazy sculpted detail going on. I think it's just a clone trooper. But the paint apps and everything just look really, really good. And he looks really, really impressive. Now I can show off some of the hands, but actually first we'll go on to articulation, and I'll try to showcase them with some of the accessories. So articulation is really, really good on these figures. The real trick is just kind of manipulating him in such a way to make him look good and make it work. You do kind of have to work with it a little bit, but it is pretty good. So you got like a ball joint in the head. You can look up quite far. Like he's got neck joint as well. Up, down a decent amount. Pivot quite a bit. Rotate, you know, do all the stuff. So that's good. Ball hinge at the shoulders, which don't move out a crazy amount. I don't want to force it too much. They go out to about there. I guess they could go out further. But they also have like a butterfly. They can move in and out, which is really good. You can, you know, rotate them. I guess you will kind of want to be careful just at the fabric. Make sure you're not ripping it, but it should be fine. They're meant to be moved. So that's good. You move all that. Again, same movement here. Getting most of the movement, you know, what you'd like. Hinges and elbows, so you can get it bent up pretty far. with the armor there. You can get all the aiming poses you'd ever want out of this guy, so you don't need to worry about that. I'll show it off. You do have the wrist articulation, which you move in and out, rotate, and if you pull out the, I can show this with a hand that's not in there. If you take like one of the hands here, I have it like you can do the roll of the dice sort of thing, but if you want to, you can rotate it so it can go in and out. It's whatever you want to do. So it's good to have that option. You have torso articulation, but it's pretty limited. And that didn't sound good at all. It's pretty limited. Like right there, you can move it, but then you're seeing the undersuit underneath. So it takes some manipulation of the armor, but the armor kind of gets in the way of the torso joint. You can rotate it and stuff, but the ab crunch and stuff, you're not getting that crazy amount of crunch. You do get a bit, but it's nothing too insane. You get a really good spread. You know, he's doing pretty much the splits there. You can kick forward all the way. The armor can move to accommodate the stuff, move back a bit. You do get the bend in the knee, which moves pretty good. And you do get that ankle articulation. This ankle's almost coming popped out, but there we go. But you can move them up and down, and again, if you do that thing with the pegs, you can get the pivot as well, which can be a really good pivot. You just have to unblock to change that if you want to get that kind of articulation out of them. Yeah, really good articulate. Play around with it a bit to get what you want. Play around with the armor and the gear. It's just how it is with these figures, I'd say. But yeah. Alright, now let's take a look at him with some of his accessories on. I guess we're going to take an archer finger out. First we're going to take a look at the rotary, see if I can get him in a quick doing that. I'll just pause the video. It'll be easier. Okay, basically, I have no idea what this thing's doing. Stop. Alright, so now I have the figure out here. We'll take a look at him. I got his Phase 2 helmet on here. We'll take a look at both helmets. And I won't go too much into detail with the helmet, but as you can see, he's got a full black, sort of brownish black wash to really give him a worn veteran look, which I really like that a lot. I think I prefer that more than a clean look. He definitely looks like he's seen some battles, seen some stuff. But here he is looking with the Phase 2 helmet. Like I said, not going to go in detail, I already did, but that's how that looks. And you can pop that off. My Phase 2 helmet goes on and off really easily, more so than the Phase 1, but it's just a ball joint. You can just clip that on, and you get the Phase 1, which looks good as well. It's not my favorite. I think it sets just a little high on the neck, but I think it still looks really good. And then the rest of the body, you just got this really great paint and sculpt work going on. The armor push plates here on just a soft bendy plastic on the shoulders here, so they can just bend out of the way. The bodysuit is a black, stretchy, soft goods material, which looks really good, and it moves really organically, and is made of a great material. It doesn't seem like it's gonna come apart or anything like that. And it's just the rest of the figure is taking a look at it. All the scuffing and work and everything looks really great. Thermal detonator and the pouches look really good. Got the leg armor. Leg armor looks great. All the blue markings look fantastic. Final First is my favorite Legion. Also, BT dubs if you didn't know. So that's another reason why I'm really happy to have this trooper. Move that out of the way. And yeah, that's pretty much it for, he looks visually stunning. He looks fantastic, very impressive on display. Absolutely love how this guy looks. In terms of posability, he's really good. Just with these Sideshow figures, you do kind of have to be careful. You gotta have to work around the armor and the gear a bit. And you can get pretty much all the poses you're ever going to want out of this figure. You're just going to have to work around with it. But he has a bunch of neck joints, so you can forward and back movement, rotation, pivot, up and down, all around. You can do all that stuff with the head. Shoulders don't go out actually as far as I'd like them to. They only go out to about there, or at least that's out. That's as far as I've been able to get them, and I don't really want to force them. But there's that, and they also have like the butterfly joints, so you can move them forward and back, which is really good. He has double bends in the elbow, so you can bend the elbow pretty far, and you can get pretty much any aiming poses you'd want. He has ball hinges in the wrists, and how the wrist hinges work, which I can show with an alternate hand, is you can actually see here, you can have them in and out like this, but you can take the peg and you can rotate it around and get the roll of the dice sort of movement. So you can get either or, whichever one you want for the specific hand, which is really cool. He has a diaphragm joint, which doesn't actually move a whole lot. The armor gets in a lot of the way. He can do it, but it's a little difficult. But you don't really need the diaphragm joint too much. It's got a really good spread. You can pretty much do the splits. You can also kick forward all the way, which is really good. You have bend in the knee, which moves pretty good, especially considering the armor. And he has the ball joints hinges at the ankles, and again, it's like the wrist. You unplug them to move the pegs around, so you can either get a pivot or an up and down movement. So that is also really good. And now with that out of the way, we'll take a look at him holding his son as accessories. So I have his Z6 rotary cannon here. Generally I'd put on, let's see if I have it here, I'd put on the left hand. Actually, I'll just do it. There's this hand that I will say is meant for holding the rotary cannon. So porting in the hands and replacing them is super easy. No problems there. And you can just kind of work his hand, work this. That did not sound good. You do got to be careful doing this, and it's a bit of a challenge, but once you can get it in there, that hand's definitely meant for holding the trying to figure out what snapped. Anyways, you can get him holding the rotary cannon, and with this hand you can definitely get some really good poses, and I'm just doing a pretty substandard job here if I'm being honest, but with some work you can make it look really good. But there you go, you have him with the rotary cannon, which looks really good. So that's awesome. I'll pause it and I'll get him in hand with one of the other weapons. Here I have him with the DC-15 carbine. Like I said, if you work with it, you can get him in good aiming poses. I got him there with a pretty good aiming pose, I'd say. So that's really cool. He holds that really well. These open hands are good for supporting hands for the DC-15 carbine and rifle. And here he is with the DC-15 rifle, which is a little hard to show on camera because it's such a long gun, but Again, holds that really well. The arm supports it nicely even with the weight of the gun. Yeah, you can get the full pose there. Looks really good. So that's really cool as well. And another pose I just got really quickly, you can have them standing at attention with the rifle as well, and the hand will hold it no problem. So that's really great as well. And here he is with the backpack on, just a really rough throwing it on him. If you put some more time into it, you can probably make it look a little better on him, but it does strap on him really well. Looks really good, sits on the back nicely. No problems there. And then we'll take a quick look at some of the hands as well. I showed off some of them, but here is, I guess, one of the coolest ones. Again, like I said, one of my favorites. Unplug that. And you can plug in the thumbs up there. So, there you go. You have your trooper giving the thumbs up, which I think is really cool. Do a couple different poses of that. You know, you can do a lot of different stuff, which is awesome. Really, what makes this figure so great is the options that you have with it. Here's the salute hand. Have them salute in there, so that's cool. Here's the two-finger one, so you can kind of have them like that, or like posing off like that, like he's pointing off to something. So that's pretty cool as well. I'll put the resting hand back on, and lastly, I'll put the finger pointing. Yeah, I'm pointing. So yeah, pretty cool. Put his grip hand back on, and overall this is a fantastic figure. Get him set up here. Kind of get his display stand here. Keep him held together here. Yeah, overall, this figure is really great. I really like it a lot. I think it's a fantastic piece if you're a Sideshow Collectibles collector. And definitely if you're a Clone Trooper fan, 100% recommend getting any of these Deluxe Clone Troopers. There's a few different ones, I think. I think there's a standard one, there's this 501st one. I know there's a 212th one. Yeah, if you can get your hands on one of these guys, unfortunately I think they go for a decent amount of money online. I was lucky, got mine at a comic book store for a decent price. I think it was like, after tax, like $200 Canadian, which I think is a pretty good deal. But they go for a lot more in USD online, which is unfortunate. But if you can find this guy for a good price, 100% recommend picking up. He is a really, really cool figure, and I'm really happy to have it. Probably my favorite item I have in my collection right now. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know anything in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.